guys, welcome back, guys. We have got a match preview, Liverpool versus Newcastle. We have got someone special joining the channel as well for this preview. So, guys, make sure you get ready, grab your drink, grab your snacks. We're ready to go. Let's do this. Yes, guys, welcome back to another show, guys. This is the match preview, and guys, I couldn't do this on my own, so I went and got a special guest. First time on the channel making his debut. It's the one, the only, James Redmond. How
Let me
you
get
doing,
a
my
shot
man?
so you can see the gun show. The gun show. He's like Jamie. Hey, that was a boss intro as well. By the way, I feel like I'm walking like right through a rock concert when I was listening to it, so that was quality.
Oh,
I like.
yeah.
Did you edit the intro yourself?
No, I got my mate Cav did that for me. Yeah,
He did a boss job.
I did the music and he did the video for me, but I did all the music.
He did great editing and the music's great. So yeah, phenomenal combination, my friend.
I've copyrighted all that music, so if anyone uses it, they have to pay me. So.
Nice. Happy days. Make that bread, bro. Make that bread.
It's the way to do it. You know what I mean? So,
way
James,
to do.
welcome to the show, man. Appreciate
you
being here. Appreciate you being here, my friend. I really do. So, Liverpool, Newcastle this weekend. Let's get on with the match preview first. We'll talk about a little bit of gossip after.
Let's go.
So, Liverpool, Newcastle. How are we feeling, first of all, James, this weekend? How are we feeling?
In summary, I think it's always a tough game, and they're the bastards of a team to play against. Let's be honest. I mean, they're just very, very difficult, and they're just compact and very defensively sound. So I don't like that. But then, also the midfield's great. So that's one that I feel if you go into a game and you lose the midfield battle, you're automatically like 10 steps behind. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking to myself, well, hopefully we can match that intensity, but at the same time, Newcastle are in some fire form. But the one, I mean, people look into stats. I don't look into things like this. But for instance, Eddie Howe is the manager that Klopp has beat the most times. Like, he beat him the most times, more than any other manager in his career. That was mentioned in the press conference as well. I think it's like 11 times he's beaten him or something. And obviously the one time was when Bournemouth beat us 4-3. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And we 3-1 up. So yeah, that's interesting. So I don't really look into stuff like it, but I have a slight feeling we could win. But overall, it'll be a tough one.
No, definitely. Look, Newcastle, their rise in the last 12 months or so has been fantastic. Yeah. The job Eddie Howe has done at Newcastle can't go under the radar. Yeah, a lot of people. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, James. Don't know about you. I think if he was a foreign manager, I think we'd be gushing all over what he's doing right now.
I agree.
Because he looks like a middle-class Englishman. No one's giving him the benefit of what he's doing, in my opinion. I think he's done a great job there.
I agree. I was going to say as well, like, think about if his name was Di Santo Martino and he came from like a team in Italy who gone back to like divisions all the way to the Premier League from Football League 2 with the same team. And then now goes to Newcastle and instantly improves them. Like, every signing, boss. The structure of the team, great. Like, he really had, like, I thought he deserved the shout of manager of the year. I mean, of course, Pep with the treble, what can you do? But in terms of like pound for pound, like what they had to do with their teams, I mean, I don't know how Eddie Howe weren't even mentioned more so than what he was. So yeah, I agree, bro.
No, he's done a tremendous job. And look, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get their last game on the screen was against Man City. So it was the Middle Eastern derby.
Yes.
And look, I thought Newcastle did all right. I think Newcastle fans, I see what Bruno Guimaraes did, sticking up for Newcastle. I think there's a lot of Newcastle fans now that are maybe getting a bit over carried away because of the money and all that, which is, it's got to happen, ain't it? Because I can understand it. But look, this is the Newcastle team that played. So we know what we're up against. So Trippier, Cher, Botman, and Byrne. Botman's been a tremendous signing for him. James, I expect that you agree with that, won't you? He's been He's
been quality. We could have done with him. We could have definitely done with him.
Liverpool were interested at one time, weren't they?
That was when we were like linked with Kabak and all that, weren't it?
Yeah, and we didn't have a centre back, and it's like we need one, but we didn't go after him.
He was quality. I was a big fan.
Yeah, exactly. And Guimaraes, what a signing he's been. He's there sort of like holding midfield player, but he controls the midfield. Obviously, Tonali, they got from AC Milan, tremendous little player. And Joel Linton, the steroid freak.
The guy. I remember there was one time in my life where I never rated Joel Linton whatsoever. Like I thought he might have been the shittest player in the Premier League, like at one point. And what he's done since, he's been incredible. He's been fantastic since he made that adjustment. And that's one thing a good manager does, isn't it? Like when Klopp came in, you saw automatic improvements from everybody, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? You guys were like diabolically shit before. Whereas now you look at players like Joe Linton, before really bad, now really good. So fair play to Eddie Howe for noticing the attributes and still finding a place for him in the team.
Yeah, I mean, look, K-Mac says here as well about Botman. He says Botman's the best centre-back in the Premier League.
Yep.
He's definitely... Look, I think Virgil on his day is still the best. I think you got to remember Diaz at City is a tremendous defender as well. There's no doubt about it. I've got an unpopular
opinion. I've got an unpopular opinion about Diaz. I think Stones is better than him. I do, I think Stones isn't talked about enough, like in that best centre-back conversation.
Because he's English.
Yeah, maybe.
We got this thing about English players not being good. I think that
he's quality.
Yeah, John Stones. Look at I said this last year. I said, City, I know Haaland came in and did what he did, but I always thought John Stones, Ake were the base of what everyone did at Man City.
100%.
Them two players in that back line, especially what John Stones doing that inverted role. But he does it the best.
Weird. Yeah, he'd be playing cam at times and he was doing amazing at it. Like he was doing what we thought Matip was doing. Like Matip was doing great runs, but John Stones genuinely like controls the ball, finds the right passes. He's like he could play most positions in the pitch, and he's a well-rounded player. That's why a manager like Pep would be so happy with someone like John. Like John Stones is genuinely one of the greatest centre backs in recent time, from England, should I say? He has to be in that conversation. Like I think if he's not in the category with Rio and all that, he's got to be the one below, and I mean like just below. Like he's close to them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he's a great player for me. He's a great player. Guys, I just need to let everyone know right now, my StreamYard ain't working properly. I can't see no comments or anything. So I'm looking on YouTube for the comments. So big up Matt's Hairline, who just became a member. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And Matt, I can't get your... So guys, thank you very much for the super chats. I just can't put them on the screen because StreamYard's not working. So I'll read them out. Thank you very much. I'll read them out, but StreamYard's not. I've got no comments on StreamYard. I've got nothing.
I was thinking, like, I looked on YouTube and there was a lot of people and then no one was commenting. I was like, wait, there, what?
Yeah. So, thanks. Not quite right with StreamYard. So let me, I will shout out, big up Matt Hairline for the super chat. He says, big up Jamie, love the shows. James, we need to see you again on Coppish again soon, brother.
That's right.
Love your energy. Right. Yeah, big up Matt's Hairline.
Big up, bro.
Coppish. Yeah, Coppish guys are fantastic. Cow Drift.
Great.
And Matt over there. They're great guys. Make sure you go and follow them, subscribe to them. Make sure you also, if you ain't followed, subscribe James Redburn yet. I don't know what you're doing, guys. Go and do that as well. When you see that team, though, there, James, when they pour at their best, with their best 11, who do you fear in that Newcastle 11 there? Who do you really think, right, this is going to be a tough game today with these players playing?
I look at the spine mostly as my most fearful part because Isaac's quality, I think he can find a gap in our defence, especially if Konate isn't starting, by the way. If Konate isn't playing, then that's a big problem. So I think Isaac can have a field. Here's my theory, right, Jamie? I don't know if we're doing a starting 11 prediction or anything, but my theory is that we're going to start Gomez. Reason being is because I know Matip is considered and favoured, but he's going to probably be gone in 12 months. And we know Jürgen, if there's a player who's on the way out, they're probably not going to be favoured over the guy who's probably more long-term. And I think Gomez is more long-term. So I think that's why he'll play. But he might just play anyway. But that's my logic behind why I think he'll play more than Matip. Like if it's Matip or Gomez, Gomez gets chosen. You know what I mean? So that's why. And I think Isaac can do really well against him, especially in this 2 at the back formation that we seem to do at times, or what it looks to be sometimes. So I think with that, I think he's just got so many deficiencies that will be overexposed in the game. So Isaac I'm fearful of, and it's the midfield mainly, but then even those centre-backs all the way to Pope. Nick Pope is hard to beat. Those centre-backs, good luck getting past them often. You know, we're probably only going to have a few clear-cut chances in this game, and that's why we need to be clinical. Like if Salah gets a chance, you better hope he hits that sweet spot, because we know it's hit and miss when it comes to Salah sometimes. And if we start Núñez, which a lot of people are advocating for, again, that's another one where very hit and miss play. You better hope that he gets the sweet spot, because again, I'm looking at us seeing maybe 2-3 proper chances that we can consider, like, how did we not score that, or how did he not work the keeper more? Otherwise, I think it's going to be a tough, pretty stellar game, and it's all because of those defenders. So then I'm worried about Tonali and Bruno, because we need to win that midfield battle. And on the ball, they're very fine, and off the ball, they're machines. And then when you include Joe Linton as well, he's a different dynamic. And I just think it's got a bit more balance to ours, or than ours. It will be interesting to see if we get to find out if Enzo plays, or if Klopp is going to remain with the McAllister, Gakpo, and Szoboszlai. Because I think Klopp, from what he sounded fine with McAllister in that role, So I'm intrigued to see what he does there. And if we win that midfield battle, we win the game. But that's easier said than done.
Well, let's do it. Let's pick our team. Let's pick our team for this lineup, because when you mentioned Joe Gomez there, I was thinking that as well. Because I was thinking Gomez might play this, because I'm not sure Klopp wants to play Matip at centre back if he's playing Trent inverted, because Matip ain't got the legs to get across. But I think what you're saying. I think if you play Joe Gomez as the centre-back, you can still play Trent inverted, because he's got the legs to...
I hear what you're saying.
Cover. So it all depends if Klopp wants to just keep Trent as a right-back, and no inverted, he'll play Matip, in my opinion, because that makes more sense to me. If he's going to play Trent in that inverted role, then surely Gomez has to come in for Konate, because it's the most like-to-like player with Konate we got in our centre backs, I would say, for pace and stuff like that. So, I don't know what the chat feel like on this, guys. Remember, I can't get your things up on the chat, but I will read them. What are you thinking here, chat? Gomez or Matip? I mean, look, none of them are in sparkling form right now.
I would choose Matip if this is how I'll paint it to the chat. Like, if you're thinking about it, like, obviously, I think the majority of us would go with Matip, because on the best day, we know he's more reliable. But then when you think of it and consider it from a standpoint of what you think Klopp will do, I think that's now where it changes, because I think you're right, Jamie. I think he is looking to play Joe Gomez for the tactical point of view, and for the fact he's more long-term.
Yeah. What did you make of the comment today about Klopp and centre-backs?
What was the comment? Remind me.
It was something about, because I didn't quite watch it all. So I think it was about, they asked him, because he said Konate picked up a little muscle injury and he's a doubt. He didn't say he was completely off the radar, but he said he's a doubt for the game.
That's right. Yeah. I mean,
and muscle injuries with Konate is a little worrying. I ain't gonna lie. That is a little worrying for us at the moment. But
I'm just thinking in my mind, he's not playing. That's the way I'm thinking.
Yeah,
what do we have to do?
I mean, if he's got a muscle, don't rush a bloke back if he's got a muscle injury. That's what I say. Let him rest. And then he's talking about, I think they were talking about the transfers, because that's all they ever ask Klopp about, and it's transfers constantly.
Yeah.
And I was sick and tired of it. And then I think he was talking about defenders and saying, like, in an ideal world, I'd love, 6 or 7 or 8 centre backs, but I trust the boys that we got, and I like the boys we got, and things like that. And people are reading, you know how we do as Liverpool fans. We all read into things completely differently, and now everyone's reading into things saying, like, people now looking and going, "Oh, is Klopp? Is he saying? Was there something there he said that's a dig at the owners?" Other people are seeing it and going, "Klopp's happy with what he's got." It's a confusing time at the moment, ain't it, James? Let's be fair. It's just I don't know. I don't know who to believe anymore, to be perfectly fair.
Yeah, fan base is split. I try and use logical conclusions to decide on who I'm going to put my blame towards. Now, this logic works for everyone, thankfully. It's not just if you're on the Klopp's fault side, fine. If you're on FSG's fault side, fine. I think we really, really need to put stuff down to, like, okay, let's agree with the Kloppers. Klopp's wrong, 100% wrong. Now, who employs him? Jamie, do you understand when I say that point? Because I feel I don't say that right.
Look, it's everything, no matter what happens anywhere, business, in life. Like, I've got kids, I'm a dad, right?
Yes.
If my kids do something wrong, it's down on me as their parent because I'm their dad, right? Yes, they're wrong. When I get home, I'll tell them why they're wrong. Yeah. But in front of the person they've been wrong with, I'm going to stick up for my kid and tell him, "What are you chatting about? Don't talk to my kid like that." That's right. Because that's what you do. And then when you get home, you go, "Look, you embarrass me like that again." Like, you tell your kid off and your parent, and that's what you do, right?
That's right.
And I feel like Klopp sometimes, I think, is sometimes what I do. When I listen to Jurgen, I believe what he actually says. I do believe what he actually says. I feel like if he's going to have a go, he's that sort of man that will just have a go, because we've seen that in the past.
Yeah.
I think there's things he says sometimes that are truthful. Sometimes I do think with Jurgen that he does rate players more than maybe us fans rate players.
Yeah.
Right. Because he sees them every day in training. I think he rates Jordan Henderson and Fabinho and people like that much more highly than we do as fans.
That's right.
And is that, that doesn't mean, so that's then on him for them sort of scenarios. But at the end of the day, everything will always come back whoever your manager or owner is. Liverpool's a franchise in FSG's eyes. That's what we are. That's why John W. Henry don't run the football club. He hires other people to run the football club.
Yeah.
John W. Henry, we're McDonald's. That's what it is.
Yeah.
We're a franchise he owns. He hires people then to run that franchise.
Yeah.
And then he's off doing his own thing. That is my opinion of the whole football club at the moment, anyway.
Yep. And now we've got to analyze the precision of his hirings. So are they right? Are they good? And if they're not, well, then now the business is kind of collapsing. You get what I'm saying? And no one else can make that. Klopp can't sit there and say, this guy's not good enough. F this sporting director. I don't like that CEO. Like, Klopp hasn't got that authority. There's other people making those decisions. So that's why that's the bottom line for me when I sit there and say, okay, then fine, we can blame Klopp for the minute things, but let's not forget the bigger picture. Let's not just be saying it's all Klopp, this, that, and the other, because I don't think that's fair or sincere. If we're talking on the topic of overall how the club's run, does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look,
Klopp is at blame. By the way, I believe
Klopp's for fun things. Of course he is.
Klopp's done a lot of shit weird recently. I'm not even opposing this. Like, I think he's done a lot of weird shit, but I think he does weird shit amongst weird circumstances. It's very weird that the club, because it's like, okay, if he has some control, well, then there's the other things that oppose that control. Like, okay, let's say he wants to keep Fabinho, he doesn't get to keep him. If he wants to keep Henderson, he didn't get to keep him. So that's important. He wants to keep Milner, didn't get to keep him. So even if that philosophy was wrong, which I think it was, like, he still didn't get what he wanted. So all this malarkey about, like, he gets what he wants, that's not necessarily true.
No, look, no manager has total power over a football club. Right?
Yep,
even Wenger, even Arsenal fans, when they spoke about Wenger, yes, he had a lot of power because who he was and how long he was at that football club. It's the same with Jurgen Klopp. He's the longest lasting manager in the Premier League right now. He's going to have a lot more power at Liverpool than Eddie Howe's going to have at Newcastle. Because, and plus it's who Jurgen Klopp is. But at the end of the day, I don't like my managers having too much power, full stop, because I think that takes their mind away from the job they should
being
be
a
doing.
coach.
And they get too much involved in the football club. You saw that with Wenger at the end. He started to become like the sporting director and the manager, and it took his eye off the ball a little bit. And I feel like Klopp's doing that a little bit at times. I want Jurgen just to be the coach, just not a manager, just coach. Coach the players, coach the best tactics for this team, the best system for this team, and everything else should be worried about by your sporting directors, your CEOs, and your managing directors. And if they're not doing your job and not helping you do your job, at the end of the day, you can hold your head up high and go, look, I'm doing my job. These guys behind me are not helping. And some people see that, but a lot of people think like Klopp looks like he agrees with FSG a lot. And I've always said, I think Klopp likes John W. Henry and that as people. I think he likes them as people.
I agree.
I think he likes the way they run a business, because I think he likes that thing. But for footballing terms, when you're a big club like Liverpool, it don't work, unfortunately. And
that's right.
It's where we are. There's not much we can do about it. The club ain't going to sell. Klopp ain't going to leave. So we are where we are as fans, and we're the ones who suffer at the end of the day. And we try our best to get through it, in my opinion.
That's it, mate.
Right, let's pick this 11. I've put the obvious one in goal. So you're talking about Gomez. I've seen some people talk today about putting Gomez at right back, Matip and at centre back, and Trent in midfield. Personally, I wouldn't mind doing that, not away to Newcastle.
Maybe it's a bit of a weird game to change everything in it. Like
maybe at home to Luton, no disrespect, but maybe at home to Luton, you can do that sort of thing. But away to Newcastle, one of the hardest away trips in the league. No.
So what we need to do now? What we need to do now is remove Trent in midfield out of our heads. We need to. It's just, it's not a conversation worth having. It doesn't happen. It happened a couple of times in pre-season because players were out. You know what I mean? Henderson left, Fabinho left, Milner left, Keita left, Oxlade left. We had no fucking midfielders. So Trent was playing that role a lot. I don't think that signified he was going to play it anymore. So, yeah, it's a shame because I do think he'd do well there. But right now, no. And then what do you do at right back? So Gomez is definitely the right back, but he's so stylistically different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough one.
Yeah, I think we're going to go Trent as the obvious right back because, on his day, he's the best in my opinion. Right, Virgil, definitely, because he's looking like he's back to his best lately, and I hope this keeps up. Are we going Robbo at left back?
Yes.
Robbo keeping his position. I thought he actually had a better game last week.
Is this our 11 or Klopp's 11?
We can do our 11.
Okay. I'd probably still stick with Robbo. I don't think I don't see the point in Shimikas right now. I don't see the point in it.
I don't think he's good enough, to be perfectly honest.
With the system, I just don't think it makes too much sense. That's my problem. No. That's my problem.
This is our team. Who are we partnering Virgil with? Do we think Trent's going to be inverted in this game?
Yes.
Who would you feel more comfortable next to him if he's inverted?
Matip still. I think Joe Gomez is just really bad, bro. I think he is really, really bad. Why? What would you say? Would you say Gomez is more adhered into this game?
I think Matip's a better defender.
I think he'll do a better job of handling Isaac.
He's a better defender, but Gomez has got more of the pace, and he's more comfortable playing in a wider position in the centre back role. I don't think Matip is comfortable being dragged out wide.
I like your logic. To be fair, I like that logic.
I'm one of the Liverpool fans that have never actually rated Joe Gomez since day one. I always thought, this is a thing now, people are going to get me here. I always thought when everyone said him and Virgil were the best centre-back partnership for in 25 games when we hardly conceded any goal.
Yeah.
I always thought it was more down to Virgil just being a superstar. And being so good that he elevated Gomez's game to a standard that Gomez didn't know he could get to. And
I still think Gomez was really good, though. I still think Gomez was really good.
It was just, I don't think he's ever been as good as a Matip as a defender. I don't even think he's been as good as Jamie Carragher as a defender. to be perfectly honest.
Okay, peak for peak.
Yeah, I think Carragher's a great defender.
I think Carragher was a great defender. I agree. I think Joe Gomez, certainly for that season, was fantastic, and I think he's shown signs before the injury. I don't know, like when he came from Charlton, I thought he looked good at left back. Do you remember when he joined and he was starting at left back? Do you remember?
Yeah,
and he was doing really well. He was fantastic.
He did all right left back, didn't he? Yeah,
he's doing fine at left back. And then I think it was Brendan Rodgers who was playing him there.
Rafa. I think it was Rafa, wasn't he? No,
Rafa.
I can't remember. Rafa bought Joe Gomez, but never played him, if I remember rightly.
No, Rafa never bought Joe Gomez.
I can't remember how long Joe Gomez has been at the club now.
2015.
Oh, he joined 15. Oh, right. So it was the Rodgers era.
That's it. Yeah, Joe Gomez was fine. I hear what you're saying though. Now, the more you think about it, he's not one of our best centre backs, but I think because he was in a league title winning defence, it was just wild. But we've got to attribute a lot of that to Fabinho being in front of him and Fabinho being in his prime that season as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Fabinho was just he was the best of the best back then as well. We've got to remember that, But the whole team was, let's face it. The whole squad was elite back then. Right, midfield area, my man. Midfield area. Is Endo making his debut away to Newcastle? This is a tricky one.
I would start him. I would start him. I would go with Endo.
I'm on the Endo train, James. I don't know about you.
I've been on the Endo train. I'm leading that fucking. I'm leading it. I'm going motherfucking chew. Honestly, lads, swear to God, brother. I think he'll do well.
I want this lad just to be all right. I don't want it. Look, for me, he doesn't need to be special. He just needs to do the job. He just needs to do the job.
That's right.
That's all we need to do for me. And if he can do the job, and it helps the boss like McAllister's game, and his sort of way he plays goes under the radar, and it's not fashionable. For me, that's enough. It might not be good for some fans, but for me, that's enough. If he can follow a runner from midfield and make a foul or a tackle, stop that run happening into a goal, like we conceded last week, then for me, he's done his job. That's all I'm looking at.
What I like about Enzo,
I think that's what Jurgen's looking at.
Sorry, Jamie, carry on.
I was about to say, I think that's what Jurgen's looking at as well.
Yeah.
I think he wants a no-nonsense DM. I don't think he wants all these whistles and all that. He just wants a no-nonsense defensive midfielder.
Specialist. That's the word that's being thrown about, and he wants a specialist. And Enzo's a specialist, man. Like, listen, I know that everyone says he's versatile, which I think in his early part of his career, he played centre-back, but for the past 4 seasons, he's been predominantly a CDM, and he hasn't played outside that position much. I think he's good. I think he'll suit the dropping in the defence, like the way Fabinho did. I think he'll suit that a little bit more. He reminds me, I know a lot of people laugh at him because of what Salah did to him, but Lisandro Martinez, like 5'10", reader of the game, fine on the ball, like he's a sound player. I've got a lot of faith in Enzo. Outside all the jokes and the Enzo clan and all that stuff, Enzo's actually a decent player. I can get behind it for sure. My worry has always been, will he be good enough? But now I'm starting to realise, okay, I need to stop thinking, are we going to be good enough to win a league title? Like, that's what I need to get out my head. I need to start thinking, okay, let's try and win a trophy. Let's win top 4. Is he good enough for that? If the rest of the team is doing their job, yeah, he's fine for that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll take Endo.
Stick Endo in. Because, this is the thing, have they got him on here now? Come on.
They'll have Enzo, no?
There he is.
Yeah.
Still Stuttgart, but there you go.
Stuttgart,
there he is. He actually looks older on here. He looks older in here than he does in real life.
He does, doesn't he? In real life, he looks like he's 19. Doesn't he?
He looks a young guy, don't he? He does look a young guy. Because if Curtis Jones is available, I might have thought that Curtis Jones might play this game because it might be early for Endo. But the way I look at it, it looks like he's got Klopp's trust straight away. I mean, Klopp threw him on with no training sessions, don't know the players when we've got 10 men.
And he's on boss.
Yeah, and I thought that shows you straight away that Klopp's got his trust already. And I think Klopp's bigged him up in his press conference today as well, saying how well he's looked in training and how well.
That's what I love about Jurgen. People will be like, "Oh, look at Jurgen." Jurgen understands the importance of confidence.
Yeah,
Jurgen understands this. He knows this guy is going to come in and do a job straight away, or is going to have to do a job. At least let him go out there feeling like he's $1 million, you know what I mean? And imagine him like he's walked in, he's seeing Mo Salah and that left and right, they're all respecting him. And then I reckon Jurgen sat the players down and said, listen, be respectful to him, you know what I mean? Like, big him up.
I've heard as well that he's shouting at players in training, Endo, when he don't get the ball and things like that. He's got that confidence back. And also he's got very good English, which makes it makes him so much easier for him because he understands what Klopp wants him to do. It's what Darwin's struggling with last season, that he didn't know what the manager wanted. That's why Thiago had to talk to him about everything. But yeah, I think that helps. I think with people like Taki Minamino, when we had him, I think Taki was more like a shy guy, inverted guy, weren't very outgoing, didn't have the biggest personality, where apparently Wataru Endo is very outgoing, very talkative, great personality.
Yeah.
That sort of helps you endear yourself to teammates, don't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. That sort of thing. Right, definitely. Are we going Mac and Szoboszlai?
Got to. I feel like that's the one part of the pitch we don't have to debate or talk about because that's just easy, isn't it?
There we go. Right.
I feel like the wingers is the same. I think the conversation comes at striker. I think the wingers is obvious as well, though. But yeah, do you know what? To raise some thought, we have just put Endo in flawlessly. Do you refute the idea that Klopp could go with McAllister at 6 and then Gakpo remaining in midfield?
I was thinking of that, but I was watching the Liverpool-Newcastle game the other day at St James's Park, earlier on today, actually. I had it on Sky. In the Gakpo goal against Newcastle, that lovely play through the whole team. And Gakpo in that number 9 position, just finishing it off.
Yep.
I watched that and Gakpo's got to play false 9. I think Salah plays better with Gakpo at false 9 than he does.
No, it does. He does. Gakpo's smart, mate. Gakpo's smart. He's my number 1. Yeah, like in terms of who I would choose, he's my number 1, number 9. Like Jota, good goal poacher. Think he's fantastic off the bench. Nunes, goal poacher, runs in behind, outlet, fine off the bench, gives us a different option. Gakpo's the one who's going to maximise the performance of Salah and maximise the performance of Diaz. And I think we see that, you know what I mean? I think he was great against Bournemouth as well. So if I was to choose the front three, it'd be Diaz, Salah and Gakpo.
That'd be
I think the conversation, that's why I think Gakpo could still start in midfield, because I think the conversation's going to be between Darwin and Jota. I think it would be very fucking ballsy of Klopp while Jota's fit, because bear in mind, Jota weren't fit last season. So Gakpo was kind of like that alternative. Imagine making Nunes your third choice. Do you think Klopp wants to establish this? Because if Gakpo remains number 9, he's now basically saying to Nunes, like, you're that third guy.
Yeah. This is interesting. This is where Klopp's management skills have got to come in, because
got to come through. But you know what's interesting as well?
Darwin was brought in, and you would have thought Darwin, when he saw the transfer fee and everything, you probably thought he's coming in to be the number 1 striker for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then he looks like he's third in the list now, and he's got the number 9 shirt as well. So would mess your head up a little bit more if you're Darwin. But
no, it does definitely.
This is where Klopp's management's got to come in.
The club needed a number 9, which is why they gave Nunes the number 9, and it was very marketable. He's a fan favourite. It made so much sense, like financially and marketability for the football club. Not even a doubt. That's why Diaz got the 7. It just made sense. I felt like Diaz just always suited the 7, and now he's got it. I think that's why they wanted Milner gone. I think that was a big reason. He was like, no, fuck off. He's taken the 7 shit. But Diaz has got the problem Carvalho had, right? Mm-hmm. This is why I don't think these were Klopp signings. Because why would Klopp make a system that, or at least Klopp couldn't have been educated too much on these players? Because think about it, the second Klopp got Gakpo, he was like, came to his senses a bit. He was like, yeah, we're actually playing better with this dude in the team. It's not that Nunes is crap. You can tell he likes Nunes. But it's just that Gakpo adheres more to the system. So the problem he found was, okay, well, we work better now. And Jota's coming back. And when Jota came back, he was more clinical than Nunes. So what Nunes could do, which is getting on the end of chances, is what Jota was doing, but a bit more clinical. So now that's also a problem. But then I'm just thinking now, is he really going to just leave Nunes on the bench? That's the one question for me. Like, will he? Because and what I was going to say about Carvalho, Carvalho was not fit. We never played a number 10.
No,
he weren't favoured as an 8, and he weren't favoured as a left winger. Nunes, I don't think he's favoured as a striker, and I don't think he's favoured as a left winger either, which is the other position. So I think he's comfortably number 2 in every one.
It's a shame with look. I think with Darwin, we've got so much of the football to play. I think Darwin has got plenty of time to come into this team and try and do his thing. But with Darwin, I think what he's got to do, if God forbid there's an injury to Gakpo or Jota, or they're just being rested for anything, it's a long old season. When Darwin comes in, he's got to take his chance. He's got to come in and go, right, you lot, I'm taking this number 9 spot now. You're going to have to take it from me. But unfortunately, every time Darwin comes in, he doesn't give the performance I think Klopp is looking for, and I think Darwin's a fan favourite with the fans, and rightfully so, but so was Divock Origi, and Divock Origi was never really fancied by Jurgen Klopp. So I think we got that sort of scenario at our hands right now. Gakpo suits the system. He can hold the play from the front, and that helps the team move forward and press forward as well. So what he does helps the team, man. Look, for me, that's probably our strongest 11 right now, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Right, I know you've got to go, James. Give us your score. Give us your score.
By the way, this is not a prediction. This is very much a spoiler.
Go on, Paul.
I'm going to give you the score of 2-1. 2-1. Don't put your life savings on it though, because that's putting bad luck on the spoiler. Yeah,
2-1. Look, guys, I think we're going to win this game. So if we play that 11, that's still better than Newcastle's 11 for me.
That's right.
Szoboszlai, just in love with right now.
Quality.
He's almost taking my Addison Man crush off me. It's not fair.
He's my new favourite player. He is my new favourite. He's not, and it's not new shiny toy syndrome, because that would be McAllister.
You can just tell.
He's boss. He's just boss. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. We've signed a World Cup winner, and this guy has took the reins as like all the limelight off McAllister. You know what I mean? Like, that just goes to show how good his ability is. Such a great mentality, man.
Do you know what it is? And this is not a diss to Jordan Henderson, because I've always liked Jordan Henderson. But
no shame.
We've got used to Jordan Henderson being on that side of the pitch for so long. Right? And Szoboszlai's come in and is giving us exactly the same work rate as Jordan, but with more quality.
Yep.
And look, he's got that number 8 shirt, and he's going to do it justice, in my opinion, just what I've seen from him already. And look, McAllister, the thing with McAllister, he's playing roles that don't really suit his game at the moment. Once McAllister gets his position on the pitch and he gets going, them two could complement each other.
I agree. Absolutely
beautifully. And Luis Diaz, I think he's going to get the first goal tomorrow. And
I reckon he's on fire Sunday, at the moment. Yeah, I reckon he's on fire. I think people. That's it. He's up for it. That's the best way to put it, Jamie. He's up for it, lad. Like, you can see. He got that number 7, and he was like, fuck it, I've been injured for time. I've got to start catching up. You know what I mean? Like, this club's going to get impatient with me. And you can see he's just taking every opportunity that comes to him. I hope he scores again. That'll be 3-3. Massive for his confidence going into the 4th game of the season. Yeah, I hope he does.
Big up, Mike. Guys, once again, I can't take super chat. See you later, James. I know you got to run.
See you, hey, Jamie. Yeah, I was going to say, chat, smash those likes and also comment and all that juicy stuff, all right? It helps out with the algorithm. Jamie's a legend. Do come on my channel later if you want 8:30 or roughly, maybe 8:15.
I'll put a redirect onto your channel.
My guy. Jamie, you have a good one, bro.
See you later, my man. Big up.
Legend.
Well done, James. Thank you very much, James, for being on the show. Do appreciate it, guys. We'll go for a little bit longer. I need to tell everyone right now, guys, my StreamYard is not working properly. I can't see no comments. So I'm going to have to go. I'm going on YouTube as well on my homepage to actually see the comments. So big up, Mike, for the super chat. I can't get nothing up on the screen. So, Mike, I will read it out. I do apologize. I can't get it up on the screen. My StreamYard is not working. I can't see how many people are in the show, watching the show. I've got no comments on my right-hand side. So I'm having to switch over to YouTube to see the comments. Mike, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. The main problem with / the roster, Klopp manipulates the players to suit the system rather than manipulating the system to suit the players. Pep is the opposite. Mike, that's deep. No, that might be too deep for 5:45 in the evening. Big up, Mike. Mike, that's a great shout, to be fair, man. You might be right. You might have a lot. That might be the difference between Klopp and Pep as managers and coaches. What that super chat right there might be the difference between them two managers as coaches and how they see the game. But big up to you, my friend. Much love as always, you know that. Big up Brendan Chase in the chat as well. Just answering your question. No, I wouldn't take him. Big up Brendan Chase in the chat. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Guys, don't forget to hit that sub button, hit that like button as well. Do appreciate it. Yeah, sorry, guys. Yeah, I can't get no comments up on the screen. I do apologise, guys. Guys, let me know your score for the game on Sunday afternoon. 4:30 kickoff. We got me and James to put our 11 on the pitch right now. Who do you disagree with? What players do you think should change? Let me know in the chat right now. So, as you see on the video right now, that's our 11. We're putting Wataru Endo straight in away to Newcastle. So me and James said it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one because it's away to Newcastle. Do you want Endo to make his full debut away to Newcastle? I don't think we got any other choice right now. But let me know in the chat, guys. I always appreciate your honesty in the chat, guys. Big up Brendan Chase. No worries, my friend. Big up Drunk Vigo, say Newcastle 3, Liverpool 2. As Dog Drone Videos, big up to you, 4-2 win. Psychedelic saying 4-1 Liverpool. It's Endo time. Panoff saying 3-2 to us. Mike saying 11-10 Liverpool. All out war. Tony saying 2-2. Look, would you take a draw? Would you take a draw? Everyone in chat, would you take a draw right now? Because away to Newcastle, look, Newcastle are one of our top 6 rivals now. There's no doubt about that. That's where they are now. They're in the Champions League this year. They finished 4th. Would you take a draw away to Newcastle? So our first 3 games of the season, we drew away. We drew away to Chelsea. We beat Bournemouth at home. And we drew away to Newcastle. Considering that Arsenal and Man City, especially Arsenal, have played really weak teams so far. Would you be happy with that? Because that's 2 very hard away games done straight away at the beginning of the season and 2 draws. Would you take that in the chat? Let me know. Some people saying no. Some people saying yes. Big up John in the chat. You're doing well. Big up Revenite. No, not to Newcastle. Draw with Chelsea wasn't good enough. Only Man City and Arsenal. Draw was good enough. Fair enough. We'll go top with a win. That we would. I think a lot would actually wake up the support and how how screwed we are being in a better in the long run. But I want to win. Panel says no. Besetic could start in the number 6 position. That's a good point, Remy. Big up Remy in the chat. Besetic could start in that number 6 position. What do we say? Is Stefan Besetic? Could he start in that number 6 position? Remember, he was in the squad for the last game against Bournemouth on the bench, but I don't think he came on as a substitute. Now, he would have had plenty of training sessions, but he had no real pre-season. What are we saying? Gary's going Ali, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robert, Ali, Matt, Endo, Szoboszlai, Diaz, Nunes, and Salah. Psychonet saying don't think he's ready for Endo. Twilo Og, apologies if I pronounce your name wrong. I do apologise. No, if we're losing in the 8th minute, yes. Alexander saying not against Newcastle. No, not off an injury like that, Jamie. Yeah, I agree. I think Endo has to start. As Dog says, Besetic played amazingly against Real Madrid last year. Besetic is a very good footballer, but he's got a lot of season to go. This ain't. Besetic will play a lot of football this season. There's no doubt about that. But look, if we're winning the game, then I might throw Stefan on. If we're winning the game and there's 15 minutes to go, you can bring Endo off and put Stefan on. That's probably an argument. But right now, I think Endo would have to play. I don't know if I want to see McAllister in the 6 away to Newcastle, because that means Harvey Elliott would probably have to play if Curtis Jones is not available, or Gakpo will play in the midfield again, and then they'll play Jota up top. And Jota's form, I know Jota got a goal, but his form is not great in his last 2 games. I'd rather see Gakpo in a 9. So, yeah. Barry said, I subscribe and like Jamie, great channel in Liverpool Club. Big up, Barry. Thank you very much. Again, if you are new to the channel, I really do appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. Much love to every single one of you. I do appreciate it. Thanks for being here. I can't get your comments up on the screen right now because the StreamYard is not working. It's not coming up and I can't do anything off there. So I'm having to look on YouTube itself for the comments. So big up to everyone. I do appreciate all the love, guys. I really do. Yeah, I know a lot of people saying about Mo Salah. I've been listening about Mo Salah stuff all day today. And obviously I did my video on Mo Salah yesterday. Go and check that video out on the channel if you've not seen it yet. I did my Mo Salah video yesterday with Michael Talks Football. Go and check that out. Look, with Salah, I don't think Salah's going anywhere this summer, but I do think Mo Salah leaves next year. I think this is Liverpool's last season with Mo Salah, in my opinion. I think the money he's going to earn but going to Saudi Arabia is going to be impossible for him to turn down. So I see Mo Salah leaving next season. So let's get one last great year out of him, in my opinion. Unless FSG decide, you know what, Mo, we want to keep you forever. Here's a brand new contract, and they up his wages to something ridiculous. Then I'd love that. I'll be all for it. I really would. But Liverpool need a midfielder. Now, there's rumours today that Liverpool are looking at sort of number 6/number 8. Me and James didn't get time to talk about this, but they're looking for that 6/8 number, and that's where everyone's starting to talk about Kone now. So Kone to Liverpool is a massive possibility by what I'm hearing right now. I would like Kone at Liverpool. I think Kone does bits at Liverpool. I ain't gonna lie. I think he does a great job for us in our midfield. He would bring energy, enthusiasm, technical ability. He can defend. He can get forward. He's that heart crossbreed of a 6 and an 8, and that's apparently what Liverpool are looking for. In other words, the Gini Wijnaldum replacement, the player we never replaced in this Liverpool team so far. That is what they're looking for. A player like Gini Wijnaldum. That 6/8. And maybe Kone is the one. Maybe Kone is the one. Which should be, look, I'm all for it. Go and get him in. Apparently he's not that expensive. Kone has a physical presence as well, says Ibar. Big up Ibar. So, yeah, look, go for it, Liverpool. If you can get these players in, just go for it. We need players through the door. We've got 7 days left, guys, to get players through the door. We need them done. Simple as that. Look, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going for a 3-1 Liverpool win. I don't know where the confidence is coming from, but I look at that 11 and I think if that 11 can play well, it should beat Newcastle. So I'm going for a 3-1 victory. The Mighty Reds getting 3 points. And that to start the season with 7 points, playing Newcastle and Chelsea away, I think that's a great start to the season, guys. So I'm going for a nice big win. Fingers crossed. I'll be back for the watch along on Sunday as well, guys. So make sure you tune into my video Sunday at 4 p.m. for the watch along between Liverpool and Newcastle. Make sure you're tuning in. I'd appreciate it. If there is any transfer news in the meantime between right now and kick off on Sunday, I will go live, guys. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and hit that like button on the way in and on the way out. Big up to Ben. How you doing, man? Big up. Ben says, big up, Jamie. We're winning, brother. Yeah, we are, Ben. You tell him, man. You tell him. Big up, Ben, as well. Make sure you go and Anfield Talk and subscribe to his channel as well. Great stuff. Right, guys. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much. I'll see you again Sunday for the watch along, unless there's any transfer, breaking news, or anything like that in the meantime, guys. But much love to every single one of you as always, and I'll see you again soon.